Tang Zichen asked Wang Chao to demonstrate the two moves of Een Palm and Monkey Stealing Peach. After watching, she nodded. Not bad, the posture is right, the force and the center of gravity of the whole body is also well adjusted. You have potential. Come, I will teach you a martial art frame that increases stamina. As for the fighting form, one good move is ample and can be used all over. Before you master it, using these two moves are enough to defend yourself in any situation. As she said this, Tang Zichen put her feet on the ground drawing a straight line. Wang Chao is instructed to stand with each feet on one side. The entire straight line divides the body into two halves. After Tang Zichen saw that Wang Chao has assumed position, she asked him to put one hand under his ribs and raise the other hand, stretching it out flat. His whole body seemed to be holding a spear, or holding a bayonet. This is the midline. The midline of the human body is the spine. The top of the spine is at the back of the head, and the tail of the spine is the coccyx. Any martial arts that is not practiced to the extent of the spine will be useless. Listen carefully, what I am now going to tell you is the foundation of all martial arts and the origin of national arts. If you cannot grasp this, you will always be stuck at the door searching. Wang Chao saw Tang Zichen's serious expression. He immediately pricked up his ears and listened attentively, afraid of missing even a word. When it comes to martial arts, one key word must be mentioned, and that is qi. This qi is not the qi that we breathe. Nor is it any kind of air in our surroundings. When a person practices martial arts, his whole body becomes hot and he sweats. This heat is qi. The so-called refining qi refers to this heat generated when a person uses qi. However, there are countless pores on the human body. When practicing martial arts, heat is generated and qi will be emitted from these pores. So that's it, so this is qi. Wang Chao's eyes shone as he was enlightened. When qi dissipates violently, people sweat. Yes, that's it. Tang Zichen nodded approvingly. The pores on the human body are like the holes of a bamboo basket. No matter how you attempt to draw water with a bamboo basket, the water will still flow out through the holes. In the same way, no matter how violently the human body moves, the qi will be emitted from the pores into nothing. During practice, keeping this qi from dissipating is the most basic and profound thing in national arts. This is also the method of maintaining health in Taoism. Qi is emitted through the pores. If a person wants to nourish qi, he must close the pores all over his body at critical times. How can I close the pores on my body? Wang Chao asked hurriedly. Have you ever seen animals angry, especially cats and dogs? When they are extremely angry, the hair on their bodies will stand up like a hedgehog. When this happens, its pores are closed. The same goes for people. Sometimes, people will have goosebumps appeared on their skin, and the hair on their bodies straighten. This also closes the pores. Tang Zichen untied the cloth bundling her hair, letting it fall, and took a step forward. Observe when I exert my force. Behind Tang Zichen was an ash tree as thick as an arm. Wang Chao saw her turn around and bang. Her palm hit the tree trunk. Tang Zichen's hair suddenly stood up as though going through an electric shock, and then fell down again. At the same time, there was a click, and the ash tree broke into two pieces from the place where the palm hit, and flew out flatly. Again, Tang Zichen stepped lightly, and the originally smooth cement floor at her feet cracked as though been run over by a press. What the? Wang Chao just wanted to swear, but he swallowed the words again. Haha, little fool, this is from the realm of dark force, also called internal force. You are still far behind. When the masters of School of Form and Meaning practiced Kung Fu, they would make no sound when they lift or place their feet on the ground. However, just by exerting a little, they could crush a large piece of brick. The realm of dark force, silent and produces much, with minimal exertion. Tang Zichen tied up her hair again. I just explained qi to you. The dark force realm is about concentrating qi at one point into an explosive release. Look at my hands. Tang Zichen stretched out her hand. Wang Chao took a look and sure enough, Tang Zichen's hands were wet. It's all sweaty. You little fool, all the sweat is coming out of the palms. Tang Zichen saw Wang Chao's surprised look and laughed and cursed. Sister Chen, I just saw you performing a stance. You didn't do any strenuous exercise. How are you sweating so much all of a sudden? Wang Chao suddenly discovered something strange. Little fool, when you hit someone, you have to hit them with your hands, constantly. At the same time you will feel anxious. When a person is anxious, he is heated up and sweats all over his body. This is much worse than a strenuous exercise. Tang Zichen continued, there is a verse in the Fist Sutra, when encountering the enemy, is it as though one's body is burning. When a person is anxious, his whole body will sweat immediately, and a large amount of energy will be released. But it is useless to sweat all over the body if the energy cannot be focused and used. Therefore, Qing Tinghua said that when hitting someone, you must be anxious in your hand. When your whole body is hot, close all pores on the body and only loosen those on your hands. Have you ever seen a high-pressure tap flushing water? That's how it's like. When a person is anxious, his whole body will sweat. This is the essence of the combination of meaning and qi in the Fist Sutra. The principle of combine, but only letting the sweat come out from the hands, this is the principle of combination of qi and strength. Combination of meaning and qi, combination of qi and strength. So that's how it is. Wang Chao nodded repeatedly, realizing that he had lived for 16 years and had not heard of as many truths as he had this morning. The position I'm asking you to stand in now is to allow you to control the pores in your body. This really increases your stamina and kung fu. Tang Zichen asked Wang Chao to assume another posture that looked like holding a spear and stabbing a bayonet. The horse stance I taught you last time, you practiced the strength of your waist, legs, and toes. I'm going to teach you another stance today, which is to control the opening and closing of the pores in your body by exercising your spine. Pay attention, use your heart to feel the direction of my fingers. Tang Zichen touched the back of Wang Chao's head with his hand, and then moved down the joints of his spine inch by inch. Every time she moved to the next joint, Wang Chao felt that his body was as if his spine was strengthening bit by bit. At the same time, the movement of the spine also drives the movement of the bones throughout the body and the expansion and contraction of the muscles. Wang Chao felt hot all over his body and was starting to sweat slightly. Suddenly, Tang Zichen's hand touched Wang Chao's tailbone. Wang Chao's center of gravity suddenly dropped to the end of his spine, and his whole body was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Hush! The hair all over his body stood up, and a dense layer of goosebumps appeared on his skin. All the sweat and heat in his body seemed to be forced back. Feel every inch of your spine, from head to body, and then to the tail. The head, body, and tail are all in one. This method is called the three-body stance. The tail of an animal maintains balance and controls the body. For ferocious animals, once their tail straightens, the hair all over their body will explode. A human does not have a tail, literally, so we are not as agile like animals. The horse stance requires the essence of riding a horse, and the three-body stance requires the essence of having a tail. For the three-body stance, when the center of gravity falls to the tailbone, it should be like a cat whose tail was suddenly stepped on, and the hair all over the body explodes. Only in this way can an improvement be achieved. Without this effect, even if you perform the stance for another 100 years, it will all be in vain. As Tang Zichen pushed Wang Chao's spine section by section to the end, it is as if he had just come out of a steam room feeling dizzy. And upon encountering a gust of cold wind, his whole body was suddenly awaken. Wang Chao shared this feeling with Tang Zichen, and she nodded, yes, this is the same as taking a hot bath. When a person takes a hot bath and soaks in hot water for a long time, the pores of the whole body will be opened by the heat. The vitality will gradually dissipate through the pores, so people will sweat all over their bodies when taking a hot bath. If too much vitality is dissipated, some may not be able to take it. Those with poor physique will feel dizzy, tightness in the chest and shortness of breathing if they take a hot bath for too long. These are the main symptoms of loss of too much vitality. At this time, when you suddenly step out of the bathroom and experience a gust of cold wind, your whole body will be alert, your skin will be stimulated by the cold, and goosebumps will form. You will be refreshed and your mind will be clear immediately. This is because pores around the body close tightly when stimulated by the cold air. This prevents the loss of vitality in the body. Seniors have figured this out a long time ago, and even made up a verse called, refining chi as if taking a bath, nourishing chi and returning it within when the cold wind blows. The spine is the midline of the human body, and the feeling on the spine are the two meridians of Ren and Du. When the spine is moved, the whole body moves. When your whole body is heated up, between the sensation of heavy sweating and light sweating, you must lower your body's center of gravity on the spine. This is the same as acupuncture, except that acupuncture uses needles, while three-body stance uses the center of gravity of the whole body as stimulation. One is internal and the other is external. Real masters don't sweat when practicing. They only sweat momentarily when they hit someone. Tang Zichen said for a moment and then took out a metallic key card from her pocket. I have explained and elaborated the three-body posture in detail to you. I have also helped you to experience and grasp the essence of pushing of your spinal joints. Practice daily after you go back. After the winter vacation, if you have time, go to the 18th building of Tianqing Lake in the provincial capital to look for me. Your sister will be busy for the time being and won't be able to teach you. Take this. Only then can you enter. Handing the key card to Wang Chao, Tang Zichen said, this is the password. You can only enter with the card. When you have results to show, you can come and look for me. I will then teach you new things. If you can't achieve the effects of the three-body stance, then throw away the key card and forget about looking for me. Tang Zichen said seriously. Sister Chen, what does it mean to achieve the effects of the three-body stance? Wang Chao asked hurriedly after hearing this. After getting along for such a long time, Wang Chao truly regarded Tang Zichen as his big sister. Upon hearing this, he couldn't help but feel anxious. Bulging temples on your head. After you practice till your temples are bulging, you can come and look for me.